I mean, do you know why you were created? Why you were born? Why? Why me? Why would you? Why are you doing this? You're a freak. A monster. What the hell's wrong with you? Please don't kill me. Please, why? Why? Why was a monster like you even born? Pfft. Walked into that one. I was starting to wonder if you even had the Turing solution. Father's framework for programming linguistics into the artificial systems, and the body of work for which he gained international recognition. Yeah, and international jealous. Do you have an answer to my question? An answer as to why you were created? Why you exist? Occam's razor. I'm here because my parents wanted me. I see. Then I will give a similar answer. I was created because Father wanted to make me. Can't argue with that logic, can I? Can't argue with that logic. Father did say that you're a lawyer. Yeah, that's me. You're a lawyer, and I defeated you with logic. World-class, high-power attorney, best defense money can buy. So do you catch criminals? Look at her sparkly eyes. That's what cops do. Do you litigate criminals? That's what prosecutors do. Then do you fight for the underrepresented? Expose injustice? Sue corrupt corporations and officials? I don't think anyone does that anymore. Then what do you do? I'm a criminal defense attorney. A defender of the innocent and the powerless. Aha. Do you also... Now that you know all about me, can you tell me about yourself? I've never had to do that before. First time for everything. How old are you? I'm not sure I can give a satisfactory answer. 0 for 2 on answering simple questions. What's the date on your earliest memory? 2 years ago. Right, so I reckon they split up or broke up or stopped hanging out or something, and he made her in response to that. And where were you created or assembled or whatever? What facility? I was not constructed at any facility. Father created me here by himself. You're saying that if I took you apart I wouldn't be able to find any markers from any manufacturers, any IDs of any designer? You want to take me apart? David was a programmer, not an engineer. How could he build a custom android from scratch in the comfort of his own home? He couldn't have. He must have had help, probably a whole department's worth. If I ask around, there's got to be someone in the company who can ID this thing and help me figure out what's so important about it. You don't look like any android I've ever seen. What are you made of? This body is comprised of organic tissues integrated directly into cybernetic systems. They require organic nourishment including water, carbohydrates and salt. Wait, warm androids have to eat and drink? They cannot be worth that much trouble. My cybernetic systems operate largely as analogies to their equivalents in the human body. I have a respiratory system for oxygen exchange and a centrally located pump that circulates oxidant. You mean you've got a heart? How quaint. But where does all that extra weight come from? Pardon? Oh, you can't say that to an innocent little 2-year-old android. I tried moving you earlier and it felt like I was pulling against a truck. My skeleton is a combination of medical-grade plastics and a military-grade titanium carbide alloy. That sure took the wind out of her sails. My muscles are made of adaptive rare earth alloy nanoweave fibre with shock absorption and kinetic chain potential rated past... Wait, did you say military grade? I have a grip strength above 1,000 kilograms. I can run at sustained speeds of over 60 kilometers per hour. I can jump 6 meters vertically. I can lift approximately... Not sure what kind of grip strength most androids are walking around with, but I've never seen any of them move the way it's talking about. Even just standing there, it seems to be poised, controlled, spring tight, strength and flexibility like a ballerina or a gymnast. Strong enough to flip over a tank, lifelike enough to avoid detection. As long as it's never stepped on a scale, it'd make for the perfect infiltration unit. The perfect weapon if you can keep its development a secret. Did David really put something that heavy on my plate? Dismantling a military prototype in secret? Are you deep in thought? But a military infiltration android would look more crew-cut and forgettable. And would David really devote personal time and effort just to make another weapon for the military? I have other features I could tell you about if you like. If I shot you, would you die? It would be very painful. You're a big girl. For you. And there would be a discharge of fluid, but conventional weapons would not prove particularly effective. That settles it. The thing's a weapon, sure as I... Would you like to know about my hair? Your hair? I'm impressed you noticed. Every fibre contains miniaturized solar cell lattice technology, allowing me to remain charged throughout the daytime. That must come in handy. I haven't actually had the chance to use it yet. This room has an ambient wireless charging functionality, and I haven't gone outside much. Okay, maybe it's not a weapon after all. You're just a pincushion, aren't you? I'm not familiar with the term. Searching... Ooh. Pincushion, jargon, design, refers to prototypes filled with experimental technologies to check for compatibility issues. Got an idea, not sure what to do with it? Stick it in the pincushion. It's as good as an explanation as any for what I'm staring at. A mismatch of state-of-the-art military features spliced with odd new technologies and seemingly pointless additions. The end result being a singular, unsellable android that wouldn't be particularly good at anything and would break down after only a few years. Pincushions are a small but valid part of the field of android manufacturing. They are valuable to collectors, who see them as time capsules filled with their designers' most outlandish ideas and least reproducible of results. But even the most nonsensical pincushions are built via committee over years, with numerous engineers and programmers adding in their pet functions. The android before me claims to have been built by one man. A man who's now... Seems we got off track there, Sarah. Was there anything else David told you to relate to me? Besides that you are to look after me? He also told me that you are reliable and that I should trust you. He said that I was to listen to you and obey your instructions. Finally, some good news. As you say, Adone. What's that? That word you called me, what was that? Adone, from classical Hebrew. Translated literally, it means my lord. Do you prefer that I call you master? Look, she's so adorable. No. Very good, Adone. Why'd David use Hebrew, though? Abrahamic myth tells of servants constructed out of earth and clay, designed to resemble and obey their masters. Golems. Father must have found the comparison appropriate. Amusing, more likely, it's just a joke. Father would not make light of such a thing. Sure he would. Perhaps we should ask him to clarify his reasoning for himself. Where is Father, by the way? Is he upstairs? When was the last time you were active? 38 hours ago. Thursday night, then. When he might have told you to kill him, wipe your memory, and then go into hibernation. Right. David Asher is dead. Oh. He died last night, understand? He didn't die last night. Oh no! We still don't know that for certain. How? May I see him? See him? No, I won't be able to see him. Funeral's probably not for a few days. Father was not... He was not sick. I don't feel like doing the whole song and dance with 2 robots in one day. That's very charming, but let's go to commands only. Ah, I see, because it's not going to work on her. Like it did on the one in the shop, but this is to juxtapose that. What? What happened? Did he have an accident? Why is it still doing the theatrics? Does it not recognise my authority yet? The police have determined that he committed suicide. For the time being, we ought to focus on getting you properly registered. Maybe then you'll take commands the first time I say them and not... The police are wrong. Excuse me? They are wrong. Father did not commit suicide. He would never do such a thing. Father had... He told me... Look, Sarah... I'm sorry? You're sorry? Father said you were his friend. How are you so calm? I've been around death a lot. So don't try and lecture me about grief, Spearmint. My name is Sarah. You will use it because my father, Dr. David Asher, the greatest program in the world, gave it to me, and he did not kill himself. I did not murder him. Let's say you're right. David didn't commit suicide. And if that's the case, the police will realise that soon enough. The police have already made their determination. That's what you just said. Father said you were a lawyer, that you were capable and reliable. And a friend. No, she's pouting! Oh my god. You should be looking into his death. That's... Is that an order? Of course not. It is a request to donate. A request that I'll have to refuse. The police have their job and I have mine. If I stick my nose into their investigation any further, it'll come down on me hard. Cops don't like lawyers on principle. Or what they really hate are people who tell them how to do their job. Let's go. We need to... Father asked you to look after me. Yeah, he did. He also said you should obey me, but you don't seem to be quite as fixated on that part. And he said something else. He said that you owed him a favour. One favour. The thin ice starts here, Spearmint. That was between him and me. Father is gone, so now it is between you and I. Actually, that would be you and me, because if you take out the other subject of the sentence, that is now between I. Doesn't work. And I am calling in the favour now. What? You don't have to take care of me anymore. Consider that request null and void. You can sell me to some collector, or you can donate me to a university. It doesn't matter. In exchange, you will prove Father didn't kill himself. And you will make sure that whoever hurt him is held accountable. Why are you laughing? It's you and me, not you and I! Yes! You and me. David would roll in his grave if he knew he'd gotten that wrong. It was not my intention to amuse or rotate. No, that's for goddamn sure. Fine, I'll take that deal, Sarah. You mean you will prove that Father did not... I mean, I'll look into it. I'm a lawyer, I don't prove anything. I just disprove what I can. Then where do we start? We? Didn't realise you had a law degree. I do not have a law degree, but I am a fast learner. This isn't a job interview. And I am far from useless. I can... Yeah, it did raise at least one good question. Where do I start? I'm a defense attorney, not a police detective, and David was my friend, not my client. I won't be able to poke around at all unless... And I am also capable of... Can you tell a lie? I am capable of making statements that are false. Guess that'll have to do. Are you going to ask me to lie? Yes. To the police, in fact. Lying to the police is a felony. Androids don't commit felonies, they make errors. I see. What kind of error do you have in mind, Adone? Are you sure about this? You have questions too, don't you? Right now I'm a little better equipped to get answers than you are. Okay, go for it. I'll make sure they're watching. Is the air quality at Noble headquarters kept up to state standards? What's that? All these Noble employees seem to have asthma. Was Father also working under such poor conditions? They don't have asthma. Then why are they all carrying inhalers? Yes, Mom, she's right over here. Okay. Well, before we go on, I really want to know what the inhaler is. Adrozone. Widely used drugs. Stimulant of least concern. Okay. I was sure it was like some sort of anxiety medication, but it seems it is just a it's just a performance drug that just keeps people going. Okay. Also, it's still so cute that that's there. Sorry. Emma. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. My best friend. And also Emma. Did I mess up? On the contrary. Eyes wide, she's a DA. Quiet. She succeeded spectacularly in getting Noble's ears perked up. Emma Rockford. Didn't think I'd run into you here. Yeah, didn't think I'd be here either. But the powers that be think my presence sends a strong message to the Megs, so... No, wait, what are you doing here? A few minutes later. I see, I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you for saying that. And thank you, Detective Reyes, for your many kind words. We can't all be as talkative as you. Normally quoting poetry would feel pretentious, but you were so genuine in your reading. Bite me. I love her so much. I don't know that there's any need for all that. Very mature, Detective. Did you come up with that by yourself? Oh no, that's Kaguya's signature pose. Like the pop star? I don't know what you're talking about. I really hope they keep this up and that every episode has Reyes' like some secret fascination she has with some like... Because in the first one it was fidget tubbies and that she clearly has some great obsession with fidget tubbies and graded collections and stuff. And in this one it's a pop star. It's like, what's the next one going to be? Actually, I think My Little Pony was ahead of its time. I don't know what you're talking about. You could admit it if you do. Well, there's nothing to admit because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is. Wait, now you're saying that you don't know who Kaguya is? She's the most famous... Yeah, well, I don't know who that is, so... Mom? When you're about to say something? Oh, well, I'm still surprised you're here now, Morgan. Are you helping plan the services? Actually, the company will be planning Dr. Ash's funeral service. Wouldn't his family want to take care of that? No. No? No. I see, sorry. But if that's the case, why are you here, Morgan? Ha! Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to disrupt your morning. Hey, that's... You're here for the same reason as every other suit we've got crawling around. Money. You're not wrong. There are a lot of annoying insects with annoying agendas scuttling around before my friend's body is even cold. But the honest truth is I don't even know if David had a will. The company helped him manage his estate. Legal is probably already on it. Actually, judging by how much coffee that intern is carrying into the elevator, I'm certain they are. Right, so if you're not here for the funeral or the reading of the will, Miss Starling asked me to come here, actually, on a matter unrelated to David's passing. An unrelated matter? That's convenient. Isn't it? But now that I am here, it's come to my attention that the police have made a determination in the case of David's death. And where did you hear that? Am I mistaken? No, you're right. They concluded that it was suicide. Can always count on her, to be blunt. I was worried about that. Yeah, I'm sure you must be feeling... because I'm going to have to contest that charge. What? The state has made a charge, I'm arguing against it. The hell are you talking about? The police believe David committed suicide. Suicide is a felony in this country, detective. What a way to... Okay, sure, that's one way to get yourself inserted into this. It is technically a crime to commit suicide, yes, but we're not in the habit of bringing dead men to trial. Especially not for their own murder, Morgan. No, not to trial, of course not. But there will be a preliminary hearing in a case like this. Technically, as a formality, assuming the courts aren't busy that day, I'm afraid that on this occasion I'm going to have to insist on formality. Yeah, well, you don't really have much to say in the matter, do you? With David gone, I had the only say, really. I am, after all, his criminal attorney. All that money and he needs his drinking buddy to be his attorney? Bullshit. I'm also skeptical, Morgan. It's a pretty serious conflict of interest to be your friend's defense attorney. You're absolutely right, it is a conflict of interest. And I would have said as much to him if I had the chance. What do you mean? I only found out that he wanted me to be his attorney today. After he died? How the hell did you miss that memo? Embarrassing, isn't it? But to be fair, it was hidden pretty well. Oh, I didn't know you had an android, Morgan. It's cute. She is adorable. Thanks, but it's actually David's. And it's technically my witness. Witness to what? 38 hours ago, that is David Asher, communicated to me as a matter of record the following explicit legal intent. That in the case of any and all criminal charges brought against him by the state, his attorney would be... Evangeline! Evangeline Morgan! Her first name is Evangeline. Ah. The angel of death. Evangeline. Oh god, this scene's a bit crowded now. No, wait, seriously? Your name's Evangeline? Did your parents name you after a Christmas carol? Should we all be curtsying? It's not that funny. No, of course not. Nothing to be embarrassed about, Evangeline. Do your friends call you Angel? I hear Kaguya's on tour, Detective. Should I get you tickets? I could have your dad drive you like all the other 15-year-old... Hey! Feels like we're getting off topic. What were we just... I was telling you that David Asher wanted her to be his criminal defense attorney. Imagine my surprise. An android's recording of a verbal expression of intent isn't exactly ironclad, Morgan. That's fair. And if we were going before an upper-level court, I would expect that it would be open to all kinds of scrutiny. But if we're just talking about a preliminary hearing, a formality as you called it, if he asks for representation, he deserves representation. Doesn't matter whether he's alive or dead. Am I missing something? What difference does it make? Not even an adjutant would be obtuse enough to sentence a dead man. No, there won't be a sentence, but the adjutant will render a verdict. And verdicts have consequences even for the deceased. Is that what this is about? What's she getting at? If the court agrees this was a suicide, that verdict will retroactively affect evaluations of the individual's mental health. Like, whether he was in his right mind or not? You know anything about estate tax law, detective? No. But I'm sure you'll be happy to educate me. More than happy. An individual's found by a court to not be of sound mind can't very well give their consent to the lawyer drawing up their will. If his will is compromised, all of David's considerable assets would suddenly be thrown into legal limbo. In which case, the state would be legally obligated to come in and pick up the pieces. So this is just about his money. I'm almost disappointed in you, Morgan. Well, when you take into consideration all of the factors, it's actually more complicated than that. For example... Huh? Never mind. No, Starling, you should speak your mind. All I mean to say is that while Dr. Asher did have significant holdings in art, real estate and intellectual property, he's also, of course, owned a great deal of stock in numerous corporations, principally Noble. If he was ruled not to be of sound mind, and if his shares were to end up acquired by the government, Noble would suffer a serious blow to its commercial image and its standing in the financial community. So how did they let this happen? Why? Presumably it's implied that Noble organised this suicide ruling. So did they not think it through? Surely they knew about this stuff. All of which is to say there's a great deal at stake here. Not the least of which is the reputation of a man whom I was proud to call my friend. Alright, maybe they weren't a couple. I really did get those vibes though. They must have been really close friends. You're not buying this, are you? In case you haven't noticed, the city is working closely with Noble on this, and they're not going to let you bring in any unwanted attention. Starling did her part, they're watching and they've stopped trying to hide it. From here on out, it's a gamble. Noble Electronics already has unwanted attention. Why are you raising your voice? If nothing changes, by the end of the day the whole country's going to hear how David Asher committed suicide. By midnight, there will be questions about his competency. Concerns about why the brain inside every single Noble ad was built by an apparently unstable man. The shareholders will have nothing to do all Sunday but brood over that sad thought and all its disturbing implications. By the time the markets reopen on Monday, I would expect a great deal of volatility. That's so... I understand Noble's apprehension, of course, Emma. I just feel like right now the fiscal conservative thing to do would be to not get in my way. So you've got your reasons and Noble's got a lot to think about. But why should the district attorney's office devote valuable time to playing out this game of yours? Because they're certain they'll win. That goes without saying. The courts should have an opening at 6 PM. I didn't have anything planned. Then it's a date. Detective, would you get her clearance set up? Yes, Mom. Updates every hour, yeah? You're out on a limb, Morgan. Better not linger.